Many people don't believe that BlackBerry is still making phones after all that happened to Android and after all that happened to BlackBerry. It is making phones, although in India it is being manufactured by Optimus. The BlackBerry phones are still in the market, and the latest one we have is the Blackberry KEY2. The KEY2 keeps the classic BlackBerry design refreshed with new materials, hardware and software. You're watching India Today Tech. I am Rahul Sethi, and in this video I'm going to tell you about the Blackberry KEY2, what all new things it has and how is it better than the KEY1. The KEY2 is a cleaner and sleeker KEY1. While it's still housing a tall screen at one end and a physical QWERTY at the other, everything around this package has received a fresh coat of paint. On the back, the phone has a distinct fox leather texture that feels good in the hands, besides assisting in confident grip. In a sea of big slippery glass phones, the KEY2 brings a refreshing change that instantly makes you sit back and notice. But coming back to the KEY2, the phone feels really good in the hands. The outer frame is carved out of Series 7000 aluminum. Even though KEY2 is lighter than the KEY1, this metal midframe imparts considerable heft to it, or at least it provides an assurance that the phone is rock solid, though it's not as heavy as the BlackBerry Passport, for example. As for the tall display, it's good to see BlackBerry minimizing the bezels, especially on the top. This adds to the overall neat and sophisticated look and style of the KEY2. It uses curved 2.5D Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for protection. The bottom end of the display has physical capacitive keys for navigation, which are also backlit, although the keyboard itself is touch sensitive and you can use that too for navigation. The keyboard comes with a smooth matte finish, unlike the KEY1 that came with a glossy keyboard. If you love physical keyboards on phones, this is by far the best physical keyboard experience you will get on a modern day BlackBerry phone. This is because the KEY2 offers a neat combination of old world charm and new age features in equal measure. It supports touch gestures like scrolling, so you can use it as a trackpad to scroll through web pages, and flick typing for predictive texting, although you can also use virtual on-screen keyboard for typing, and that comes pretty handy when you're looking for symbols that don't reside on the keyboard. The keys also have 52 app shortcuts in the form of short and long press. This means every key on the KEY2's keyboard is programmable to open something or the other. The new speed key on the KEY2 lets you use custom shortcuts that can allow you to open any app or shortcut from any screen. This makes multitasking on the phone one of the fastest in Android space. The fingerprint scanner is put beneath the spacebar key, which is quite ergonomic to use, though the home key is still a capacitive one. The fingerprint scanning is fast, but it can be a little inconsistent at times. For a change, all the physical buttons, the volume rocker, the power button and the smart convenience key are all placed in one row on the right side. They are well built and offer excellent tactile feedback. The KEY2, like all modern BlackBerry phones, runs Android. More specifically, it runs Android 8.1 Oreo and an almost stock version of it. Apart from the Android look and feel, you get security suites from BlackBerry and a bunch of other apps. The BlackBerry Hub, for example, is a unified inbox that integrates notifications from apps like Gmail, Outlook, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and WhatsApp, as well as calendar event and phone calls and text messages all at one place. The Productivity tab, on the other hand, gives you quick access to items, calendar, hub, contacts and more by swiping from the right. The KEY2 is also being pitched as the most secure Android phone in the world, and BlackBerry claims that it will receive security patches the same day that Google pushes them out. But the unique thing about the phone is its security. The phone is highly encrypted and there are a few security aspects that you can monitor and control yourself. The Detect Security app, for example, can notify you whenever an app like Google requests sensitive data like location and microphone. It also keeps a log on how many times Google actually asks for permission, especially your location or microphone, each day. The KEY2 in addition comes with an in-house locker where you can store sensitive files, apps and photos. You can hide sensitive apps as well in the locker from the home screen. And you can also use the fingerprint scanner on the KEY2 as a shutter button if you want your photos to be clicked and stored directly into the locker. But comparing to a regular Android phone, the KEY2 has a rather unusual display. A 4.5-inch 1080p IPS LCD screen with an unusual aspect ratio of 3:2. It's designed for web scrolling, jotting down notes, sending out emails and stuff, but it is clearly not designed for multimedia consumption. Everything from Netflix to YouTube to regular 1080p videos you have saved on your phone will appear letterboxed. That is, thick black borders appear on the top and the bottom of the video. Vertically playable games work well, but playing games on the KEY2 in landscape orientation can be a daunting task. Again, it is not the best phone out there for gaming, and the big reason for that is KEY2 is not as high-end as other high-end phones in the market. It's a more mid-tier phone with Qualcomm Snapdragon 660 chip clubbed with 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage, just further expandable wired microSD card. It's not as powerful as phones like the OnePlus 6 with a Snapdragon 845, but then the KEY2 is designed for a different audience. It is designed for those who would use their phones more for productivity than multimedia consumption. Also, the Blackberry KEY2 has a 3500 mAh battery inside it that gives a backup of more than a day on extensive use. A use where most big screen Android phones would die by late evening. Now, the least exciting part about the Blackberry KEY2 is its cameras. It has a dual camera setup at the back with 12 megapixel primary sensor and a secondary sensor which is also 12 megapixel in resolution paired to a 2x zoom lens. We did take a few photos with the KEY2, but they came out only decent in good light. Dynamic range is unsatisfactory and white balance is off almost all the times, unless you are shooting indoors. HDR doesn't help much either, often resulting in photos that are softer and oversaturated with not enough detail. Surprisingly, the KEY2 can shoot good portrait shots when the lighting is good. Low-light photos again have a lot of noise and can't compete with that taken from phones in its price range. On the front, the KEY2 comes with an 8 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture and is quite disappointing. It can barely compete with budget segment phones, let alone the premium ones. With the KEY2, BlackBerry has managed to preserve the classical BlackBerry experience despite giving a very practical touch to it. You get a tactile physical keyboard and it is paired to latest Android and features like fast charging that you get on recent Android smartphones. Let us know your thoughts on BlackBerry KEY2 in the comment section below. Also, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to get latest videos on technology like this. Thank you for watching.